Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cheryl's Place. Look at my beautiful, wonderful guest, Camille. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm
Look at that. She
excited.
has some pink on. I should have wore pink. I wear black. I have lots of pink, but I didn't think about wearing pink.
We should have color coordinated. We should have.
Well, you look fabulous, and
Thank
thank you so
you.
much for spending some time with me and everyone to talk
Of
about all the
course.
goodies we have going on. And if you're not familiar, this is Camille from Dual Wellness. Her and her son Max do videos together. Sometimes Camille will do them on her own, but it's fun to see Max and her, or only our beautiful Camille. We love her any way we can get her. So if you have, I don't know how to add things on into the chat. So Dual Wellness, I'll add her in after the video tonight. So if you want to find her and check out her videos, they're fabulous. And I'm also
Thanks.
going to talk about what I did last night.
You're funny.
Clues. I like to give little clues for who my guests are. And I remembered an old video, not real old, but an older video that Camille and Max were chatting about music. And they were talking about the Replacements and some other indie rock music. And I was going to use that as a clue. But I wanted to make sure I had it correct. Correct. So for about 2 hours last night, which, I should have just messaged Camille. But,
Oh my gosh.
that's too easy. That's too easy.
You're so funny.
I watched old videos. So that's when I came into her favorite leader or somebody that's a mentor that was meaningful to her was Eleanor Roosevelt. So Misty, that was a tricky one for you today, Eleanor Roosevelt. And we all commented on that video. So
That's so funny. She was, yeah. That Eleanor Roosevelt was my her Eleanor Roosevelt, Helen Keller, and Amelia Earhart were my three idols when I was a little girl. I was going to have three girls when I grew up, and they were all going to be named Helen, Amelia, and Eleanor. I had boys. So
that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Oh, thank you, Misty. Misty added your channel thing to click on. Thank you, Misty. I appreciate that. Misty knows my technology level is questionable.
I'm just as bad. I don't see any of the chat or anything. So anything that's going on with the chat, you're gonna have to let me know. Let me know who's here.
Well, we'll just quick say hi to everybody, and then we'll jump into the beginning of our chat. Hello, Mama, or Keto Mama Michelle. Alita's here too. Welcome, Alita. Yay! Thank you. Kenneth Wilkinson. Hello, Kenneth. Yay! Our pal Misty. It's your pal Misty, but she's our pal Misty. Welcome. Mary's here.
Yay!
Make sure I got everybody. Mary. Marcy, hello, Marcy. Thank you for coming. Look at that. Lita and Marcy and everyone are Misty. Everyone's taking good care of the chat for us. All right. So here it is. If you want to, Misty is put in the Dual Wellness YouTube channel. Please check her out. So let's talk about some hobbies and passions. And I'm not sure how far back you want to go, but let's maybe talk about how you got into, because right now there's a new adventure you're starting is you're going to be working with teens cooking, right? Charity time. And so when you were younger, you were nannying.
I was nannying.
And doing home daycare because you just have a passion for kids of all ages. So you want to talk a little bit about that with us?
Yeah, sure. So I did. So I am the 6th out of 7 kids. And I have much older siblings. So the first time I was an aunt was when I was 3 years old. So and I have a gazillion nieces and nephews. I've always been around babies, always babies and little kids. So when as I grew up and everything else, that is something that I was just good at. I think, you know what? I think I'm good with kids because I like kids. If I walk into a room and there's a whole group of adults and a whole group of kids, I'm going to the kids. So that's and not only that, the older I get, the more I hang out with kids, it makes sure that I stay young, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. That, they just, and it's weird because I also, a lot of people think that I'm strange because I really enjoy teenagers. I love teenagers. I think they're great. Even the teenagers, a lot of people complain about the teenagers these days and stuff like that, but they're awesome. Everybody has something that they can teach you, or they can show you, or they can some way they can enrich your life, so you just have to give them the opportunity. So
yeah, I agree completely. My sister's 10 years younger than me. It's just three of us, and so I started babysitting young at 10. You may have started younger than I, but yeah, and then it's appreciation because little kids, they say the craziest things. They're hilarious. And
oh my God, they'll crack you up.
Like you said, teenagers, you're like, wow, I may have never thought of it that way, or you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe let's think about this in a different way. You know what I mean? They give you, you give them, and that you're right. All ages, they're great. There's something great about all of them, except for that terrible 2 where you want to. 2s are great.
And you know what? I'll tell you what. The only child that, and even out of all my nanny kids, my nieces and nephews, everything, the only child that I did not think was going to make it through his 2s was Max. That was it. If Max had been my first kid, he would have been my last kid. He was so bad.
Yeah, kids are great. I mean, they're funny, they're irritating, they're lovable. They're just like us. They're mini adults, but they can't express themselves. I mean, some of us adults can't even express ourselves the way we want to. I know I can't. So why do we expect children of any age to do that?
And especially teenagers. Teenagers are it. I mean, you could not pay me enough money ever to go back to being a teenager. It's hard. It's so hard. And what I just think as adults we need, I would rather be someone that they could look at and go, that's how I would like to be when I grow up, rather than someone that they look at and go, this is why I don't want to grow up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So
I agree 1,000,000% with that. And like you, I gravitate to little ones just because sometimes you're at a get together. Maybe there's only 2 kids, but 500 adults, and no one's paying attention to the kid. It's like, I remember that when I was maybe that age, the whole family gets together and you're like over here, you're bored as heck or whatever. So I do that same thing. Make sure you give an effort. Yeah.
Yep.
So do you want to talk a little bit? I know we're going to go back and forth, but maybe your new adventure that you didn't get to go today, but you're going to try it out next week. Could you tell us a little bit about what it will entail?
Yeah. So I have a friend, a former coworker that is now the head of an organization that is, it's kind of cool because it serves 2 purposes. So the first purpose of it is it's kind of like a Meals on Wheels program, but it's making meals and it's really healthy and cool and fun meals, but it's making meals for severely immune compromised people that are homebound for whatever reason. Obviously if you're immune compromised. So that's the first purpose, but then there's a dual purpose because it's adults and teenagers, and it's a mentoring program. So it's mentoring, and there are teenagers that have they volunteered for this, but it's I don't want to say at-risk youth. It's not. It's kids that have shown signs that this is a need that they have in their life. They need healthy adult relationships and healthy adult mentors. So it's killing, No, the two birds with one stone saying is
Yep.
supposed to be. Yeah, it's feeding two birds with one scone. What?
Yeah. Well, and plus it gives them a place to be that's also safe. Maybe they don't have a place that's safe
100%.
at the time or some, so it gives a lot of value in many ways. So
Yep.
I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to hearing more about what you have going on with that.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
So it's going to be, I'm going to do it weekly for every week from 3:30 to 6:30 on Tuesday. I'm super excited about it. It's going to be it'll be a neat program. I'm really looking forward to it. And plus my friend that runs it is an amazing person, and she's super cool, and I'll get to see her.
Bonus. That's just a bonus.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So you have worked at Wolfgang Restaurant for 30 years approximately.
30 years. I met my husband there.
Looked it up, and it is created next to the Grand Rapids Reeds Lake Railroad Company from the railroad being built and coming through. So they needed a place for the train to come through. And so inside of the railroad.
You really did your research. Oh my word. You are so funny.
Yes. Shelter barn, or whatever it's called. I didn't write that word down. In 1977, the owners opened up and they served breakfast only to everybody. And then now it's passed on down the family, and you must almost be part of the family by now.
I am the only server so I started there in 1992, because it was last September that I was there for 30 years. I am the only server that is there that worked for the mom and dad. I originally worked for the mom and dad, and then the son took it over when they retired, and his wife, who is now one of my lovely, lovely friends, and I adore her. His wife was a server that I took her application when she applied there. She was a server, and I begged her not to date him. I begged her, and now 25 years later, what do I know? So, I'm like, I like you more than him, Stacy. Don't date him.
So it said that their parents created it in 1977, and everything's fresh made. It's not like processed. It's not frozen. It's all fresh made. So I bet everything just tastes delish.
It's a great restaurant that is, I mean, obviously it's an established one, and it's in a very cool little neighborhood it's called Easttown. It's kind of a little bohemian kind of hippie kind of area, and it's really cool. It's we forget how much Grand Rapids is a college town. Boatloads of college kids around. And so it's the cool thing about Wolfgang's that we always said was we will have bank presidents sitting next to homeless people eating breakfast. It's everybody, there's families, there's young people, old people, everything. So, and it's just really, it's just got a great vibe.
I wish I don't have anything, whatever. The picture's really cool. If anyone wants to look it up, it looks really cool. So
it's a cool restaurant. Yeah, we love it.
I believe it. Hey, did your boys work there? Did any of the kids
all
work
of there? My kids, so I met my husband there. My husband was a cook there.
Quite the meeting place. Quite the meeting.
I met him there. I hated his guts. I hated him. He tried to get me fired.
Oh, dang. Oh, snap.
Yep. And now almost 30 years later, I met him, and all of my kids worked there. That was their first job. They all started there when they're about 14 years old. They started there. Max has come and gone a couple of different times. Sam actually, they all started out as bussers and then worked their way up to hosts, and then Sam ended up in the kitchen, and now Sam has gone on and he's been at another restaurant for a million years. And so, yeah, so it's in their blood. They literally grew up in that restaurant.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Well, you and I have something in common. I thought Rick was a big a-hole when I met him, and I even told him that.
All the best ones are.
I know. We were at a friend's cabin, and we were up all night, having fun. And he wakes everybody up in the morning screaming, "I need a medic!" And I'm like, "What is he talking about? He wants aspirin and a beer," and he woke everybody up. So I'm sure I was probably still drunk, and so I said, "Stop being a capital A, hole," and and then we'd start dating, and
and the rest is history.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's too funny, Camille. As soon as you said that, I'm like, wow, very interesting. Similar over here.
Oh my gosh. We did not like each other. So funny.
Well, I don't know. It's interesting. I think who knows? It's like, and then you finally get to know them. It's like whatever it was that was bugging you when you first met them, it's like gone. And it's like, okay, move on. You have so many beautiful dogs, girl. When did your passion for the fur babies start?
Well, when I was a kid, my mom was not a pets person. She would, and I begged her for a dog, and nope. And that was all. That was the thing I used to, when I was a little kid, I used to daydream about having a puppy and stuff like that. So that what I knew that from when I had my first place, I was getting a dog, and I did. And I've had a dog ever since. And we have 4 dogs now, and my husband, they're all old. And, we've had in between, there's been times when we've had 5 dogs, but we've had 4 dogs pretty consistently for about, I'd say probably about 20 years. And my husband, he's starting to get to the point where he's like, maybe we want to travel some more and stuff like that when we retire. And so as these ones age out, yuck, I don't want to think about that. But as they age, he's like, maybe we shouldn't necessarily replace them. And I don't agree with that. So I'm like, no, I will always have dogs. Always. We'll just have to find some way to
someone that can come help take care of the dogs while you're on vacation, or there's, I'm sure, a nice place, a doggy daycare or something, so there's options. You don't have to not
exactly. And we're blessed with the boys, both of our boys live pretty close by. And so usually it's Max now that comes in. He'll house sit for us when we go on vacation and stuff like that. But yeah, so I finally told me I will never not have dogs. Never. That's not even a concept. That's not even so he's made
a
peace
reality.
with that.
Don't put it out there in the world. We're having lots of dogs, and that's just it.
No, never. If I there's a meme that's going around right now that says, if I ever won the lottery, no, I wouldn't tell anyone, but there would be signs, and you see 20 dogs sitting there. That would be me. That would be me. I would be like, I'm not working, but I'm going to go get all the dogs from the shelter, and that will be my life. Yep.
I'm just going to say a quick hi. Derek made it. Hello, Derek. Welcome to the live. I want to make sure we say hi to everybody. Thank you. My mom liked pets. We had pets, dogs and a bird and fish. But then she decided that the bird and the fish were just too much. She'd rather just have dogs. And I remembered, like you didn't get to have any pets. I begged for a cat. And no one in the house wanted one. So Rick Rick grew up with cats and, and dogs, but so we've had cats throughout our whole relationship. So right now, sad to say, our sisters, the latest ones we had, they lived a long time. But cancer for one, another one just old age. So, Rick really wants one. I know we probably should, but I think I need to wait until after all the machines are in the house, because they keep asking, do you have pets? Do you have pets? We don't want pets near them. So
That's, you know what? That's valid.
yeah.
That's valid. I mean, I always had cats. I always had cats and I had dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my husband and I started living together, I had cats and dogs. And he is not a cat fan at all, but he tolerated my cat. I was like, it's, don't make me choose between my cats or you, because, so, but we had cats. But then when
you're
Max
trying to get me fired, you're not going to tell me anything about the cats.
Exactly. But then when Max was, so we had cats when the kids were babies, but when Max was born, he was premature and had tons of respiratory issues. And so when he was in the NICU, they were asking about our pet situation. And when I said we had 2 cats, they said, we highly recommend not sending him home with, dogs are one thing, cats are another thing. And my sister took them. It was totally fine. It was, they had a good home, but we haven't had cats since then. My husband saw that as his out, his way not to get any more.
No, I mean, I think we'll do it. It's just, I think I'd rather wait till everything is in place so they can't say, well, lecture us. I'm obviously going to keep the house clean. I'm going to make sure not, you know what I mean? So it's not like, you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to be respectful and take care of all the things, but he really wants one and he's not feeling great. So, it's like, you know what I mean? So
I know what you mean. You've got enough. You have enough on your plate right now, and you'll know when it's a good time.
Yeah, because I think maybe it might help him sleep, and all those things. So and I don't want to deny him that. It's just I'm just thinking I don't want to hear from the health people, because I'm obviously going to do what needs to be done. So.
And that's totally a question that's totally a question as you get further in your journey that you can ask them. You can say, if we did, what's something that we need to look for.
Maybe we need to buy covers or, whatever or something,
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. But for babies, just bring that unconditional love and joy, and you have the worst day ever and they snuggle up next to you and it's like,
I know. That's, it was funny. I took a picture the other day and I sent it to my sister, because I was sitting in my chair and I had all my dogs around them. I sent it to my sister and I said, I think between kids and dogs, I haven't sat in a chair all by myself for 40 years. I just, between, one or the other, I usually am not sitting by myself. So, and that's good. That is a blessing, not a curse.
It is. It really is. If you want that and you can have it and you can take care of the babies, fur babies to whatever, and are blessed to be able to take care of them and give them everything they need. Fabulous. More for them, more for you.
Exactly.
Now, I know we kind of have similar things in our lives, like you, embroidery, crochet, knitting, but is there any hobbies and passions besides that? I guess maybe helping. You love to help people. Are you going to see more passions in the future where you're going to do more helping? Because you love to help. And is there something you maybe want to try that you've maybe thought about that maybe you could see yourself doing in maybe the next few years?
I go back and forth with, I think about doing things like life coaching or health coaching or some type of thing like that. And I've explored those avenues. The only thing, the thing is that I realized, so you and I have something in common that you are not aware of. So, your passion for makeup and hair and everything else, I also had that passion, and I did when I was young. I went to cosmetology school, and I went for 10 months out of a 12-month program, because I realized that just because something is your passion doesn't mean you want it to be your job.
Yeah.
And that once it becomes your job, it kind of sucks, because it takes some of the joy out of it, a lot of the joy out of it. And so I stopped doing it. And for a long time, I didn't really do anything with that. And so now, that's with the life coaching and stuff like that. I love all that stuff, and I love getting the knowledge, and I love learning and exploring and doing all of that. But when I think about making it a career or making it a job or something, that just makes it not sound fun. It makes it sound like work.
So more of a volunteer prospect of that. And, let's say you hit it off with a fabulous teenager when you start next week on Tuesday, and they express, oh my gosh, I don't know how to take care of my hair, whatever. We're just being hypothetical here.
Yep.
And you're like, well, guess what? I can help you out with that. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That scenario.
That's the kind of stuff I live for. That's the kind of stuff, and it is the, like our lovely friend Misty says, that, she lives to help. That's what I do. It's, if I can help someone, if I can, if I can either help them by making them, solve a problem that they're going through, or lighten their life load a little bit. That's what it is. Because life is heavy and life is hard, and if I can lighten that for someone, that's my passion.
Yeah. Well, and it can be just as simple as listening to whatever they need to get out.
Yes.
At that point in time, or, or, hey, my car broke down. You're like, oh, what, there's a great place maybe here that can help you, that helps, because I've heard that they help people who may have situations, or whatever the case may be.
100%. 100%. And you never know when you're going to, how can I put this? You never know when you're going to be called to do that. You never know when you're going to be, so, I mean, one of the times that sticks out in my head, really, it just has always stuck out in my head. When my mom was in the hospital, she was in the hospital for 2 weeks before she passed away. And it was a long-term illness, whatever. So she was in the hospital, and I was going back and forth. My kids were little. I was picking my kids up from school. It was very chaotic. It was a crazy, very stressful time and everything. I was driving down the street on my way to get my kids from school. No, I'm sorry. I was on my way to the hospital. I was on my way to visit my mom at the hospital. And I was driving, and I saw this minivan off to the side of the road, this kind of dilapidated minivan, and the engine was kind of smoking and stuff like that. And it was a mom and some little kids. And I stopped, and it was before that's how old I am. It was before everyone had cell phones. But and I stopped, and I said, how can I help you? What do you, and she's like, I have this appointment. I'm just really trying to get, I'm like, let's go. Pile them into my car. Let's go. Everything. And it was, they were little kids. And the one little kid said something about, and I remember this, the one son said, this is so nice of you. Why are you doing this for us? This is so nice. And I said, you know what? My mom's in the hospital right now. And this is something my mom would have done. My mom would have been the very first person, without even thinking. And she did that kind of stuff all the time, and so that was, and it had such an impact on me when I was a kid, seeing my mom do that stuff. I remember thinking, I want to be that person. I want to be that helper. I want to be that person that helps people. So Yeah,
Oh, I
I want
agree
to be
with
that
you.
kind of person.
My dad grew up in a big family, and he was the second oldest. And some of the siblings made, different life choices. And so I remember as a kid, we were always helping, whether it was buying groceries or, whatever, but extended to other things too. But just in the
Yeah,
immediate family, we always did those kind of things. So I just think, well, that's just, I guess I just in my mind, that's what you do. I never thought of it
yeah.
as, I don't know. I don't know how to explain, but I just help people, And I think
If
about
you
throughout the
if
years,
you
like so
can,
many people, yeah, if you can, and whether it's
yeah,
just listening to some, I mean, years ago when I worked with a gal, her vacuum broke. Well, for some reason we had 3 in our house. Why? I do not know. I brought a vacuum to work for her.
yes,
Do I know her anymore? No, I don't. But was that very helpful that she needed it and I had 3 of them? Yes. So it's just like, but I
yeah.
don't even think about it. It's just like, I think like you, it's like you see it, you do it, you're going to help people and you're going to be there for people no matter how hard it is for them. They need somebody to help sometimes. So,
Well, and you know what? I like to think that that little kid that I picked up and helped his mom, I like to think that he grew up and he helped people. You
I bet
know,
you.
that I hope he did. I did. I think, I think I think it's that ripple effect. You don't
Mhm.
know how what you're doing, it's that you don't know if the person that you smiled at went on to have, help turn their day around or whatever. It's that ripple effect. It
I
ripples
agree.
out.
I totally agree. Um, I'm gonna say what they Rick and I when we started doing the hiking, what was it, a couple of years ago. I say hi to everybody, but that's because I'm with Rick. Now, if I'm by myself, I probably don't think I would do that, but I feel
Right.
comfortable because I'm with somebody else. And so Rick goes, some people don't want to talk while they're on their hike. I go, I just say hi. I don't like, whatever. Or I'll say,
You
oh,
have to say hi back.
your dog's so lovely, or whatever. I just say something nice and move on. I'm not like stopping them. Hey, what kind of dog is that? Or whatever. I'm not doing that. And it's like,
Right.
were they having a bad day on that walk by themselves? They could have. Who knows? And I just said, hey, it's nice and sunny out today. Enjoy your day. Who knows? But I'm when I'm with somebody, I'm more apt to do that. When I'm by myself, maybe in a store, whatever. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
in a like hiking situation, you don't always want to talk to everybody, but
No, you want to be
you know,
safe.
yeah.
Solo hiking it scares me. So I'm always like, do you have your pepper spray? Do you have your, do you have your
No,
phone?
I know, but I want to get to a point where I do it. I haven't done it yet, but
I know.
someday I will. But
Maybe,
yeah, the
maybe
whistle, get
short
the pepper
ones.
spray, have all the stuff.
Yeah, maybe short ones, short local ones to begin with.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. But yeah, I think that's just so great. And I think, yeah, being helpful. I mean, just like in our little community, Missy says, how can I be helpful? Derek does the challenges. We have everybody
Yes.
that we're here for each other. We want to help. And then, but we also do it in our lives besides in our community. So I just think that's fabulous.
I think so. Yeah, I do. I think that our community is very strong in that. Very, very strong in the people. I mean, even in in the Discord channel and stuff like that. In that, even if it's a matter of you're sending a message saying, I'm having a crap day today. And then there's always someone that chimes in and just makes you feel better. And that helps. It helps.
Oh, big
It
time.
does.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, exactly what you just said. And I hope people find people. We all need somebody. We all need to be loved. We all need somebody. Yes, there's times we don't want to be near people, and that's okay. But in our soul, in our core, we want to be loved. And
Yep.
just be kind to people. It's easy. Be kind to people. Keep your dang hands to yourself and be kind.
The world would be a better place if everybody observed that. Although I hate to admit it, I am a hugger. I'm a hugger.
Well, I'm a hugger, but I'm not going up to, whatever. It's different when you're with your group or whatever, to be hugging. I love to give hugs, but I'm not going to go up to that whatever guy around the corner and start hugging on him. Just, that's what I mean by keep your hands to yourself.
We have,
where they're not needed, just,
we have one kid at work. Sorry about that. That was my outlook. We have one kid at the restaurant that now, because I only work on Sundays there now, but we have one of the kids I adore them. They're just so sweet, but they are very awkward. You can tell that they are very, very, very socially awkward. Probably doesn't come from a really super affectionate family or anything like that and stuff like that. And me being me, they said something the other day and I was messing with them and we were messing back and forth and it was funny and we were laughing and stuff like that. And I just turned around and I hugged them, really quickly. And then I was like, and then we laughed and then later in the day, I heard him say to somebody went to go hug them and they went, I don't like hugs. I was like, oh, I just hugged you. And they're like, yeah, but that's you. Yeah. So I was like, oh, good.
I think people who know when they're around a good person, they're going to just accept that hug, but, there's those times when you're like, that's kind of what I meant. That's just what I kind of meant about that whole thing.
No, yeah, I had a boss one time that was a hugger, and that was not good. That was not. It was when he came the very first time I met him, he came up and hugged me, and I was like, "Ew, no." So, yeah. So there's a difference there. Yes, you are.
I had a boss slap me on the behind one time. I'm like, ooh.
Oh.
I was only 19. Oh. I just went to my desk and pretend it never happened. So I should have did something. I just went to my desk and pretend it never happened.
You know what? That was. You know what? That was
what?
That was a different time. That was a different time too. There was, when I was 19, I had my first office job, and there were a lot of things that happened. It was, it was a different time.
And they would go to liquid lunch. They'd be gone for like an hour and a half. And all they did was drink. So they come back to the office or whatever. Yeah, you're right. Because I was 19. So I think that was 1989 when I was started there. So.
Yeah. It was a different time. And thank God it is not that way anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I agree with you 1,000,000%.
Because I would if it was that way now, I'd have
other hobbies you'd like to share. Oh yeah, see, we got a bunch of huggers in our community. We're all gonna hug when we see each other. I don't know, Misty only has her gang. We have to all conjoin to get our hugs in.
I love that. One day we'll all do it.
Yes, I agree. One day.
Yep. So I talk about it, that and everything. I'm a giant, I love to read. Reading is, I have and you know about this one too. I have a new obsession / hobby, The Amazing Race. Yep. I'm obsessed. I want to go on it.
I think you should. I think you should go on there.
I know. I'm obsessed. I watch it and get my steps for the steps challenge and say, oh, I would do that challenge. Oh, I couldn't do that one. I would, but
it is a great show. Tyler, my son Tyler, my husband used to watch it years ago, and I would, peek in every now and then.
Me too.
And it would be funny. You would have, whether it's a husband, wife, or whoever the two people are. Some people just, okay, guess go. And others are like,
oh, I know. So I'm joking with Max and telling Max that he needs to do it with me. And Max said, "Why don't you ask Sam to do it?" Who is my other kid? So why don't you ask Sam to do it? And I said, because Sam and I would fight through the whole entire thing. Sam is a questioner. So if something doesn't, he's a questioner / rebel. And so if something doesn't make sense to him, he's just not going to do it. He's not going to do it. And no matter what you do, as long as it makes sense to him, he's right on. He's right there. He'll do whatever.
Yeah, so you can't bring him because you're not going to make it to the end.
No, because I kill him. Because Sam will not accept, do this because I said so. Do this because they told us. And I kill him.
But yeah, I can see the allure of going on that show, especially if you went with one of your children. And not only that, the experience. What an experience to have. You don't know where you would go. You get sent somewhere, and then, okay, well, we got to figure out this challenge or speak to these people or whatever, you know, that's going on. That would be so amazing.
It would be cool. So yeah, that's my latest passion. I love it.
All right, so we all should quit get to Michigan and start making videos of you and Max doing things so you can get on the show.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna do. I know. Poor Max. He just humors me.
I don't know. Maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe is he watching some of the episodes too?
He's watched it. So my husband has watched it for years, and I'm kind of like you. I pop in and out everything, and putz around and stuff. But I've never. And Max would the kids would watch it with Chris and stuff like that, so they're totally familiar with it. But yeah, so I do. So we've just started binging it. So we watched the latest season, and it was the best season. So now I'm hooked.
Great.
Yes.
I know they have to, do activities, but do they have to eat anything icky or just do activities?
No, they eat. So the one we watched the other night, they had to eat cobra, and then one of the ones that we watched, they had to eat a big thing of dried bugs. One was a big giant tarantula and stuff like that. I would have zero issue with any of that.
Well, they have to cook everything, so I mean everything's cooked, so it may not taste too groovy, but
and I no, there's nothing eating ones.
Yeah,
I'd have zero issue with that. The only thing I would have a hard time with is caves. I couldn't do caves. I mean, I could for $1 million. I could do just about anything.
Yeah.
But that was what Matt and rats. And Max said something. I said, I would do something with rats and I would do something with caves. I would cry on national TV, but I would do it. So
you know what? I'm right there with you. I'd cry, but I would do it. My body would be shaken, but for that kind of money, yes, I'd do it too.
For the fun and everything else, I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine a memory book with all in it, all the photos and stories you'd have?
It'd be so fun.
I know.
It'd be so much fun. Yeah. And it would be fun to do it with Max, because I mean, if you do see our videos, I mean, Max and I have a good good relationship and everything else, but Max is also, he has little tolerance for when I go into mom mode. So he's very, he will.
That's normal. I think that's normal. My kids kind of like that too. Like, we're not teenagers anymore. I know, but I'm still your mom.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. So.
Yeah, and then kids like to say things. Didn't he say something about the dairy? We know when you eat dairy or something. kids, they just love to try to embarrass us.
And he should. It's so funny because he should know me by now. I don't get embarrassed. You can't embarrass me, Max. You can't.
What he's trying? Like, I'm gonna sneak that in the video.
I know. I'm just like, really, Maxwell.
Kids, that's their nature. We probably did it to our parents. It's a thing. Oh, we have another person coming in. Hey, Gina, welcome. Camille, I think you know Camille. If she's doing wellness, Misty posted the link to her channel. I think everyone else, that's on here is knows your channel.
Yay! Yep. All of our friends.
Yeah. OSC. She said, did someone say Amazing Race? We were talking about the Amazing Race. Camille is in love with it, and she's trying to get on the show, and we support it 1,000,000%.
You know what? You know what is the biggest problem I would have on that show? I'm 4'11". I'm 4'11". They had this one thing on the one that we just watched where they were in like a whitewater rafting boat. It was on it was like a indoor whitewater rafting. It was a level 4 whitewater rafting thing. So that's pretty crazy. But in this boat, you had to reach up and grab these flags that were suspended. I would have to jump up in the air. While the whitewater rafting, while the boat is flying all over out of the boat.
You need some, like, what is that? Go gadget arms.
It's so funny because when I watch it, I really watch it like, could I, I could do that. Oh, I could do that and stuff like that. And I'm watching, I'm like, I'm 4'11". I wouldn't be able.
Now, okay, in that particular scenario, if you and Max are doing it, do you both have to jump up, or is it one person doing that?
In that particular scenario, it was one or the other had to do the challenge.
Okay. All right.
So it was, but you don't always know what the challenge is prior to deciding who's going to do it. So
that also adds a little to the show.
Yeah,
that would be hard. That one would be hard.
I jump. Yep. I jump. I'd fall. They'd have to come get me. I'd get back in. I'd jump and get the next one. So.
There was a show on, I think, before these shows started. It had, what's his name? Joe Rogan on it.
Oh yeah. We were Fear Factor.
Fear Factor. We all watched that together as a family.
Yeah. So did we.
That's a little extreme.
That one was a little bit more intense, and they did some there were some rat things that they did on there that I would have issues with.
Yeah, they made him go in a coffin or something, or whatever it was. And
yes, no, not with rats. Nope.
But yeah, you're right. That was way more extreme. They kind of want the whole family to watch Amazing Race. Everyone get excited about the Amazing Race. So they're not, I think they push a little things, but I don't think they go too hardcore.
Right.
On that show. Gina,
that's so funny.
She's been watching since season 1. Oh, also Survivor. She's been watching.
Yeah. Oh, my husband too. Yeah, my husband did. So Gina, did you watch the last season? And we won't give any spoilers in case someone did. That was my all-time favorite season. So wait for Gina to answer.
Gina says, my mom and I used to pretend we were doing the challenges. I always made her do the heights because we both don't do heights. Oh, so Gina,
I love that.
Says your mom's going to do the hard stuff.
I love that.
But how fun is that? Fun.
Yep, I totally.
Your question yet.
I totally could do the heights don't bother me. That Max asked me, he goes, oh, you could jump out of a plane, Mom? I'm like, in a minute. I could jump out of a plane, no issue. I could hang glide. I could do all that stuff.
I want to say I would do it, but I'm not going to lie. I might scream doing it, but I would do it.
Oh, I'd scream. Yeah. I totally scream.
Asked about the challenge on MTV. I didn't know about it for many years, but we do watch it now too.
I've never heard it. No, I've never heard of that.
It just started out more like a group of party people, so they would just be obnoxious, and then they have them do things, and now it's grown into more of like two semis cruising down, and you have to jump between them to do things. You know,
Oh
so
my gosh,
way more intense. So yeah, it's on MTV,
See,
and they have, and then they kind of have spin-offs with some of the stars and whatever on them that show.
That's what I was, because I am not, and bless your heart if you are, I am not a reality TV person. I am one of the, I have never seen an episode of the Kardashians, and I never plan on it, or one of the Housewives, and if you do and you love it, that's sweet. That's very, very cool. Yeah. I can't, and I don't. And this is the one, because it's not, there's been seasons where there's been creepy people on there, and I don't like that. But there's, you know, this is the one show that is reality TV based, where people aren't ugly. You know, I don't like.
I truly know what you mean. Kind of some of the spin-offs now, they have like people from Big Brother and other, you know, reality shows. So, and it's usually the more athletic people. I mean, they do have some people who are not as athletic on there, but they're kind of, you know, known from a show or something. So yeah, they do show some of those scenes where they may get drunk and, you know, stupid, but some of the spin-offs are more, they have it on Channel 4 now, or CBS, you know, and so even though they're affiliated with MTV, they do have it on regular primetime television too. So those you're not going to see as much.
That's interesting. Okay. I may have to look into it.
Well, I hear you on the reality. I used to watch some of them, and I found myself just agitated after watching them. I'm like, why am I wasting my time watching this stuff?
Well, that's, you know
like
what?
A train wreck. I don't want to watch a train wreck because I don't want to watch that.
And that's how I am with anything entertainment wise. Like my husband is a giant movie person, and I used to be, but now it's so even like with YouTube videos or anything like that, I can't put like all the true crime stuff in my brain or anything like that. I don't want that vibe. I don't want that energy. You know, just give me the good energy, the good vibes. That's.
And like you said, you guys, if anyone out here that's watching this loves it, that's fabulous. But to me, it's just how drunk they can get you, and then they're going to film the whatever happens. And so that's seriously what's on every single one of these shows. It's just different people acting out. And what value? I mean, you know, and that's just my opinion. What value does it bring to you?
And you know what? When I was younger, because and this is me. This is absolutely no judgment, because goodness knows. But all I can say is, thank God the internet was not around when I was young. Thank you. That is because wow.
Yep. I agree 1,000,000% with that.
Yeah,
you know.
So
absolutely.
I do not judge anyone for doing anything.
I don't have you know, whatever, they live their life however they want. That's cool. But for me to watch it is just like I have better things to do, because that's just not where I'm in my point of life right now, and you know. And some people don't get agitated when they watch it, and that's probably fine for them to watch it. But when I'm finding myself getting agitated by it, I'm like, okay, this is not for me. I can't watch it.
It's the vibe.
Yep. You're right. Absolutely right.
Yep.
I'm just trying to make sure. There's lots of chat. There's some about American Ninja Warrior. Yes, I think my husband and kids have watched that.
We used to. Oh my gosh, we used to love that show. We used to love it. That was one when Max was little. That was one where he was like that. He was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And he tried to do, all the you know, on the monkey bars at the
I
playground,
think,
and
yeah, because they make it look so easy because they have exercised and trained to do these. And so we're
there's
home on the couch watching. Well, we can do that. We can, no, we can.
there is a lady, and if you Google it, and she was on a podcast that I listened to. She is I think she may be the oldest, but I know she's the oldest female that has ever completed it, and she's done a lot. Holy moly, is she amazing. Google, if anybody is interested, Google her thing. Holy, I think she was, I want to say 72 or something like that. Amazing. Absolutely amazing and inspiring. Just, it's like, okay, you go. That is amazing. I love that.
She found her passion. I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be a Ninja Warrior, and it doesn't matter how old I am.
Yep.
So fabulous on her.
It's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I will. I wrote it down. I'm going to check it out. Well, because I think that's, like you, and we've talked with Misty and Derek and everybody that has been so lovely to be on Tuesday nights with me. We all want to learn things, and we all have different passions, and some of our passions overlap, but we all are our own person, and we all have our own likes and desires and what makes us happy. So,
I love that you do this. I love that. I think that this Tuesday has definitely become one of your passions.
Well, yes, because, and I've mentioned before, it's joy. I need joy in my life, and I know we all need joy in our life.
Yep.
And I kind of just thinking, how am I going to do that? I love my friends. I love the community. And then I was thinking, well, we all like different things, besides trying to be healthy and fit. That's originally how we all, for the most part, I believe, found each other. But then we have our own selves, and we all, I don't know. So that's just what's fun. And and most people here know that, things have been, not always the best. And so there's some days that I'm like trying to find that joy. So I thought,
which is amazing.
People what they thought, and they're like, I'm aboard. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to run with it and see how it goes. And,
Yeah, no, that's super cool. That's, if you can find that release that is helpful not only to you but to others, and you are giving, but you're also receiving, and that's huge. That is. It is.
Well, I'm going to be absolutely honest. Before I even came on, and my anxiety got a little better on me today. It's like, not that I didn't think you and I would have a fabulous conversation. It wasn't that. It was more like, I don't know. It's just like to get myself ready to do it. It's like, there's days that I could live in a ponytail forever, but it's like, no, that's not good. That's not good to live in a ponytail forever. So it's like, wash your hair, girl. It's like, I know I'm going to have fun.
Yep.
Which I am having fabulous fun. But, and so, and I did the weather and, that stuff, allergy, where I just felt like crap. And I was letting that crap feeling take over. And, it's like, no, I know I'm going to get my soul and heart just absolutely filled.
Yeah.
So do it, even though I don't want to get ready. That was it. I just didn't want to get ready. Not that I didn't want to spend time with you. It's the before to get there. And so
and that's when you remember, they always say, sometimes it's easier than others. Mm-hmm. Remember that in the next time, every time that you do that, where you overcome that resistance, like you did today, every time you do that, you strengthen that muscle. You strengthen that you you make your brain just a little bit stronger in every time. So the next time you're like, I don't really want to get my steps today. I don't really want to do this. You just, each time you overcome that.
Yeah.
That's where you get stronger.
It is. And it's like, I could have had my hair dirty and, wore it up. But to me, it's like, I think because I want to have this joy and I don't want to go back and look and say, why are you looking so frumpy? Not that, it matters what I look like, but it's how I'm feeling right now. I'm clean. I'm whatever. I got a little perfume on. I put a little makeup on. It's that part that is helping the feeling also. So,
yep.
I don't know if that made any sense at all.
Made perfect sense. Perfect sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I want to give myself fully to you for our Tuesday night. And if I'm wearing my pajamas and my dirty 3-day greasy hair, I'm not giving you the full effect of what I have to offer.
Well, you know that this is past my bedtime, so let me tell you, I had the conversation with myself going, Cheryl wouldn't mind if I showed up in my pajamas.
I wouldn't. You could have. You totally could have.
I didn't.
But yeah, it's kind of like, Lita says, I feel better when you look better. It's just like, it's like, I don't care what I look like when I go out shopping, when I run grocery shopping. I really don't care. I know there's some people who like to make sure they have their lipstick on. That's great for them. I'm just buying groceries. If I run into somebody I know, great. But like if I'm going out to dinner, I'm going to put a little effort in. But going grocery shopping, I don't care. But I guess this Tuesday nights is joy. I want to present joy. I want to have joy. I want to give joy. I want to make sure the person who is with me feels joy, and then everyone in the chat or the replay, finds joy, or they found something funny, or they found something heartwarming. Also, maybe something will spark them. Oh, Camille knows stuff about hair. I have some really weird hair issue. Maybe she'll know or direct me to somebody, because she's gone to school, whatever. Or, oh my gosh, you read so many fabulous books. I love books. What are some of your favorite series? Who knows? I don't know. Yeah. But, and like Misty and Derek took pictures, and there's all these other things, and photography. So it's like we all have different passions, and we all can be helpful with each other to share what our passions are and what we have.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome.
Well, my friend, is there anything that you have going on that you would like to share with everybody before we say goodnight?
No, I think I think we covered all of my adventures.
I love it. Well, thank you, Camille. I love you.
Thank you for asking.
I appreciate you so much for taking time.
I love you too.
Go to bed because you could be snoring with your cute little pups.
I will be in about 20 minutes. Trust me.
Okay, well, I'll say goodnight and sweet dreams to you now, Camille.
All right.
And I just want to thank everybody who came, and please check out Jewel Wellness. Again, like I said, I will add it on to this live after we're done. And just thank you so much, Camille. I just think you're the bee's knees, girl.
Ditto, girl.
And everybody out there, don't forget you're amazing. And I'm sending out love. Bye, everybody.
Bye.